Today I'd like to talk some more about a practice which I've mentioned briefly in some of my other videos, which is that of non-judgment. This is perhaps one of the more difficult practices to master or even get better at, but its fruits are very, very sweet and wonderful. In fact, I think the practice of non-judgment and the related practice of acceptance, which I took on over 20 years ago, have been the most fruitful practices, and non-judgment is the one that I think perhaps is most important, but in any case, the one I'd like to just discuss further today. Non-judgment is important because all judgments, when we make them ourselves against the other, they harm mostly the person that's doing the judging. Because when I make a judgment against someone else or something else, I'm creating an energy in me of negativity, of something less than love, something other than. And that negative energy is affecting my body, it's affecting my mind, it's affecting every moment that I continue to hold that negative judgment. And in a way, I'm inflicting a wound on myself every time I judge another. I want to read a brief passage from the Bible. I don't often do this, but it's a passage that resonates with me and illustrates from Jesus' words from the Gospel, or rather is a teaching in his words. Judge not that you be not judged. Judge not that you be not judged. For with the judgment you pronounce, you will be judged, and with the measure you use it will be measured to you. So, what is Jesus saying here? There's many ways of interpreting many of the teachings in the Gospel. And that's one thing I really love about Jesus' teachings, is that there are many interpretations and they're all very useful for the person that's making that interpretation. At least there are many useful interpretations. Maybe some aren't as useful to anyone as others, but there's many positive interpretations to make for each teaching. This one, I think it's quite common for people to think, if I make a certain type of judgment against another person, then I'm asking for those same types of judgments to be made against me by other people, which is fine, and it's probably true. But another way of looking at this teaching is every time you make a judgment against the other person, you're actually creating a negative result for yourself. And the measure of that judgment, in other words, the measure of energy that you're holding, is only going to be energetically, primarily at least, held and affect yourself, not as much the other person. So, let's say, for example, you think someone is just absolutely evil. They are so bad that you just feel like there's no forgiveness for them. They're just terrible, terrible, and you just can't get over it, so to speak. And that's a good phrase, because until we heal ourselves from these intensely, almost hateful judgments against someone else, perhaps it is hate, we won't get over it. Because that energy is so strong, we're liable to carry that energy into many moments of our day, even when we're not consciously thinking about that particular judgment and that particular person or people or group. We're carrying that negative energy around with us, and it is masking our joy. It is blocking us from experiencing our true bliss. Whereas, let's say we measure much more lightly. Let's say we just say, I'd rather not come to this kitchen sink and find dirty dishes that someone else has left. So you might say that's judging leaving your dishes for others as being a bad thing. And perhaps it is a judgment of sorts, but the measure of the judgment is much lighter, hopefully, because it's a small thing. And so you could even say, I prefer to come to a clean sink, and prefer when people clean up after themselves. And so that level of judgment, taken back almost just to a preference instead of a judgment of good or bad, is much lighter. It's much easier to carry. It's much less likely to put a cloud of negative energy over the rest of your day. Now, to take this example further, let's say one comes to the sink and finds some dirty dishes and just says, some dirty dishes. Here's an opportunity for me to do some working meditation and mindfully clean these dishes. It'll only take a minute or two if it's a small amount. Even maybe it takes 5 minutes, even a longer opportunity for working meditation. And if you truly feel the joy in the opportunity, regardless of who left the dishes in the sink, yourself or someone else in the household, it won't matter because you're just joyfully doing them. Now there's no negative energy of judgment to carry at all. You've turned a situation which would have been so easy to judge negatively into an opportunity for spiritual practice and for an opportunity of enjoyment once you come to the ability of enjoying a simple task by virtue of your meditative process of following the breath, noticing each dish, and just breathing and enjoying being a healthy person washing the dishes, or hopefully you're healthy. And so we can see that another interpretation of this Bible passage of judge not another, lest that measure of judgment be used against you, we can see that each measure or energy of judgment that we make really is something that we are, so to speak, measuring against ourselves. We are burdening ourselves with it. I'm sure I will revisit non-judgment in other videos. It's a very important topic which we can see from many different angles. But that's enough for today. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up in the icon below, and I'd love to hear your comments and questions. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see future videos.